Morning everyone, hope you're all feeling energized and ready to go. It's a beautiful day and really I feel positive. I had a bit of a late night last night, just catching up with some bits, but surprisingly I feel good. And my wife was just saying, oh, you're doing too much, but it's I think it's just what you sign up to, so I'm not in any way complaining at all. So just like I said, really I feel quite good, ready to go. I'm sure probably come 3 o'clock in the afternoon it'll probably hit me and I probably need my caffeine dose to keep me going, but we'll see. Anyway, today's gonna be good. I've got a young guy who's literally contacted me out of the blue, looking to do some work experience. I don't know much about him, so we're just going to meet him and suss him out and see what it's about. I think the fact that he's gone out of his way to actually try and do what he wants to do and get into an industry he wants to get into and the fact he's literally just gone out of his way to bang on a door to try his luck. Haven't received a CV, literally he contacted us, and it's very commendable. So he's literally looking to get some work experience, get some experience under his belt, and we'll see. But whether he's the right fit, we'll have to we'll see. So I'm meeting him today. So I just the very fact that he's done this, I think is very commendable and impressive. So then I've got I think I should have a podcast session with a chap. I'm trying to remember his name. You have to forgive me. And I'm tired, well there you go. So it's all in the diary. I got a podcast session, but that'll be good. I always enjoy those because I think it's just really nice to meet people, learn about themselves, learn about their story, learn about their business. And what else we got? Actually, I was having some struggles last night, and that's hence the late night with uploading files and stuff like that. It was just taking ridiculously long, and I need to try and think of a process which is a bit more efficient and quicker. So it's one of those things, isn't it? Whenever you're trying something new and you're doing it for the first time, you're not going to be as good as you will be on the 100th time. So I've just got to try and crack that. But while I was having these frustrations, I was cracking on with a lot of the business planning, and I think I've got the fundamentals of the sort of commission structure, bonuses and things like that, which I think work brilliantly. And I think what's nice is it potentially is going to really spread the pot and create lots of opportunity for lots of different people. So that's really interesting, and that's obviously for Barr Financial. So I just need to really build on that a bit more. It's important we get that proposal and proposition right, because I think when you start rolling these things out, you don't really want to be changing it halfway, because I think people then have an expectation of something, and so you don't want to let people down, and you don't want to cheese people off, and so made some progress, still got work to do on that. And I think just to share with you, like anything, when you're launching even a new product like we are with the tech startup, but even potentially a new sort of tweak on our service or our proposition, and this is really in-house and a bit of a business-to-business proposition rather than a business-to-consumer. But whenever you're building something out, you need to test the market. So once I think I'm happy with the proposal and what the offering is, I'm going to be looking to just have a little user group and just get their feedback of what their thoughts are, and the user group are other mortgage brokers. So if there are any mortgage brokers listening and you'd like to hear what my proposal is, I'd love to share it with you. So I should be I should be ready soon. So yeah, just reach out to me. Say, Ben, yeah, definitely interested. There goes the phone again. That's normal. For those who haven't seen any of the previous videos, it might, maybe it's just my little joke to myself, because normally people watching these videos, but my phone is literally just hanging off, leaning against my sat nav, and often goes flying when I'm driving around corners, so apologies for that. Anyway, I was saying, so yeah, any mortgage brokers out there who are self-employed, who've got a good client bank, who are busy and successful and are writing lots of business, and they want to see possibly what a new proposal could look like, or how it might be. Even if it's a case you just want to come and have a little, be a bit nosy and see what I'm doing and pretend, you might be interested in it. That's fine. So reach out to me, and happily, we'll still liaise, and I'll get in touch when it's fully mapped out. But we're getting closer, so that's quite exciting. And with a few other things, we've got also, as you know, we've got the website we've got to crack on with. That's over with the designer now, so that's really good. So we're going to be pushing on that front. The tech startup, we're going to be pushing on that front today. Got lots of administrative jobs to do today as well. So full day, need to get on with it. And join me on the other side, guys. So I just had an interview with a really nice guy. Basically, this guy contacted us out of the blue looking for some work experience, and he really wanted to get some experience with sort of more web development and that type of sort of techie side of things, not for the finance arm. And I wasn't too sure, whether it was going to, whether it was going to be a go, whether it wasn't, whether it was an opportunity or not. But I brought the guy who I'm working closely with on the tech business, and it's probably come at a really opportune moment where we need some more support. Possibly not just yet on that side of things, but in the future where we need to build out a website and things like that. But certainly we're doing our website for Barr Financial, and having a bit more support will be helpful. I mean, he's very much he knows some very good basics, but there's a lot he needs to learn. And I think, he's got other really interesting skill sets, which to me, I'm thinking, okay, bigger picture, where could that help us moving forward? So really excited about that. Super nice guy, and really I can see working well with our team. So he's going to be doing 1 day a week on a Monday, and get some work experience, like I said. The very fact that somebody's gone out of the way, decided, right, I want to forge a career, I want to get experience in this sector, I'm willing to do it unpaid, I'm going to just bang on the door and see what happens. That's really what more people need to be doing, really. If they want to get into something, go and bang on the door. You know what, I wish I'd done that when I was younger. I wish I knew that's probably what I should have done. When I first moved to London, there was I wanted to get into a particular sector, and it was just after 9/11, so the whole banking world had just all really closed down, as you can imagine. So, but just want to say, he was a really seemed like a really nice guy. So it's going to be interesting to see where this ends up. But just want to share that with you. All right, catch you later. So the guy's having a bit of a tough day, and we just thought, let's go for a quick pint. So that's exactly what we're doing.
Hi! What? You missed the best thing.
So this is our office for the next half an hour. What are we doing, guys?
Having a beer.
Building morale.
Everyone's had a bit of a tough day, I think, so I said, let's just hit the pub, so we have a quick pint. Everyone happy? Yeah. Is this boosting morale?
Much better.
We're his biggest fans.
One-handed.
I'm going to be famous.
Just sorted out my new SIM, with the guys at Go Mobile, Speedy and Chris. Just want to say, awesome guys, awesome service. Thank you for sorting this out. They've even given me a new charger, which I keep on losing, an extra long cable. Amazing. So sorted me out a super good deal. Interestingly, I was thinking about EE. I was pretty convinced, but they've persuaded me otherwise. So big thank you, Go Mobile. Check these guys out. Say hi. Don't be shy. Super pleased, just got the latest podcast out with Sam Settin. He's a property planner, so for those who haven't seen any of the posts that I've done, read the business meeting I had with him, definitely check him out. Super nice guy. Interesting to hear about his sort of take on, I know he's coming from a planning perspective, but he does bring in some interesting insight in terms of growing a business, starting out in business, but also the opportunities there are within the planning world and how it's related to property and development and things like that. So really interesting, really nice guy. Check it out. It's just been published, and I'm really pleased because I've dropped off a few of the podcasts. I haven't dropped off, sorry. I haven't kept on top of the podcast lately as much as I'd like to, just with lots of things going on. So I don't want to ignore that, and I really am passionate about doing the podcasts and having the business meetings with all types of businesses. And I think it's interesting to get a little property perspective, which is why I think this is quite an interesting podcast. But equally, this isn't just about property, mortgages, finance, tech, startups and things like that. I want every single business of all sizes to be able to basically have a bit of a platform to tell the world about their business, about their story, because I think everyone's story is really interesting. Everyone's challenges are very unique, and I think it's always nice to share that, particularly for anyone who's looking to start out in business, or indeed anyone who's in business, because I think we can always learn something. So very pleased. I want to continue with that, and I need to find some time to do some more, not promotion for it, but more just to basically book up some more meetings with some people. I did a stint of it where I'd lined them up for about 6 weeks ahead, and now we're getting to the point where come to the end of that, so I need to keep that momentum. So yeah, I'm going to get on top of that. But definitely check out the podcast. Links for the podcast are going to be in the sections below, or just Google or look for within like Apple Podcasts, whatever you use, the Ben Parry Podcast Experience. You'll find it. And subscribe when you see it. All right, I'm telling you, subscribe. Just want to share with you a thought, and it was quite interesting. I had, as you had seen, I got my phone sorted out. My contract had ended, and I'm quite happy with my phone. I'm just going to sling it onto a monthly SIM, so that's quite nice, save a bit of money. And I had every intention to go onto EE because I wanted, I was happy to pay a bit more, have a good service. I don't want any hassle, so you can rely on a decent, strong provider who's got good customer service. But maybe some of you might tell me otherwise. And I had sort of made my mind up really, but what was really interesting was, obviously I could have gone direct and phoned them up and all the rest. I actually went to see some guys near where I work who run a phone shop. Shout out to Speedy and Chris. And this is where I think the analogy of working with somebody who's independent, very much like in the mortgage world, really comes into its own. Basically, I went in there, I said that, I'm thinking about, I thought about going direct, but actually, listen, what's the crack? I'm thinking about going to E. Basically, they could obviously get me exactly the same deals. But what was really, really brilliant was the fact that they could offer a personal service, completely independent. I actually, as a customer, matter to them, and I know that there's that relationship where if I've got a problem, maybe even if it's not related to the contract I've been doing, but actually related to the phone, that they'll actually tweak it, look at it, make some suggestions, maybe do some suggest some setting change, what have you. And very much it's adding value to that proposition, other than just signing a new contract, which I would have got if I just went direct. So there was a huge amount of added value, which is really hard to quantify. And I think that's where using somebody who isn't the bank, isn't the phone provider, isn't whatever, and using somebody who's independent and can advise you not just about the product, because like I said, I could have got that exact same deal if I'd gone direct, but I've still got it anyway. But they can actually add real value to me. And a little example with that was, I talk about how I have frustrations with uploading and downloading and stuff like that onto the cloud, and it turns out I've got a ton of data, and each time that there's it's syncing in with the cloud, it not only syncs in with the latest like videos or pictures, it has to check up the whole whole storage of pictures, and basically it has to check everything that's on there just to see if there's been any changes. So there's a lot of processing that needs to happen, not just the latest pictures and videos. So basically they just said, look, change these settings, try this, try that, and it seems to have made a difference already. So that was really positive, and that's the added value. And I think that's where, looking at the analogy of working with an independent mortgage advisor, there is so much more added value than just getting the deal, and it's really hard for sometimes people to quantify. So I think that's maybe an example, a story, different sector, but where there's a very similar benefit. And like I said, actually I was focused on going with EE, and actually I ended up going with 3, and I had no intention to go with 3. I was thinking 3, I'm not sure, maybe a bit cheap, and the service isn't up to scratch. That's what I'd heard on the grapevine. What do I know? I'm not an expert on phones, on mobile contracts, on phone providers. I'm not dealing with them day in, day out. Speaking to these guys, they were able to tell me, okay, that was then, this is now, this is where the market is, and the market's changed. Exactly the same with the mortgage market. You might have a feeling about a particular lender, and you know what, you might think that they're really good, but right now they may be really shit. But unless you've got the finger on the pulse, knowing what's happening in the marketplace, you haven't got a clue. And I don't have a clue about the phone business, about mobile phone contracts. Those guys do, and that's where the value was. So they recommended something different. I was happy to go for it, and looking forward to the switch over. And it was seamless, a real minimal hassle for me. I didn't even have to do much, I really didn't. So that was brilliant. So highly recommend those guys. And they're brilliant. So Mill Street in Bideford, very, very good. But other than that, guys, had a bit of a sort of a productive day in many respects with the business planning. So that's starting to take shape, picking some guys' brains in America or Canada, maybe it is, in terms of their sort of compensation, remuneration structures. And I'm trying to sort of get some information off various sources. So hopefully they'll be really generous and share that with me. So we'll see. So just got home. See you on the other side. So a bit frustrated tonight, really. I thought I was on top of all the bits and pieces that I'm doing, particularly related to the videos, and it's just taken forever to do any uploading. So I'm really thinking about how to deal with this, because this isn't practical to have these delays with uploads and downloads and working off a cloud-based system for the vlogs. So I think I'm going to look into almost going back to using SD cards and think about how I'm going to do the dailies. Because basically, if I could just record straight onto an SD card, plug it straight onto a computer, edit it straight away, and then do all that stuff, it would just save so much time. Because this isn't practical at all. And interestingly enough, just reading out what's other vloggers doing bits and pieces, that it's not a good way to go about it, because you are reliant on the internet speed and things like that, and I don't want to be. And equally, reading about iCloud, it can take a long time for it all to back up and for you then to be able to move forwards. So particularly if you've got a lot of content. I think if you haven't got a huge amount, it's not too bad, but I think when you start getting lots and lots of stuff on there, then it does clog it right up. And so I think I'm going to be looking at getting external portable hard drives and SD cards and stuff like that, just to make the process a bit more efficient, because this is not practical. So I'm going to wrap it up. I haven't finished, but I don't intend to do any more vlogs later tonight. I'm just literally going to hit the sack, but I need to finish a few bits and wrap it up. So listen, thank you, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care.